Before I thought that this BRICS new payment system is just about dollar. But as day goes by, it becomes clearer that dollar is their first target, but every payment system or schemes in the West is what they are trying to dethrone by implementing their own payment system, by using currently their local currencies to settle trades, to grow their native economies until they launch their BRICS payment system, which they are effortlessly and very putting all they can to make sure that this new payment system, BRICS payment system, are smart, discourages member states to want to do business with each other with the Western payment system or the US dollar. The BRICS Economic Alliance has announced an extensive trade agreement that will effectively ditch the US dollar. The collective settled on an agreement with a plethora of outside nations to settle trade dealings in their national currencies, circumventing the use of greenback. The agreement includes all BRICS nations as well as Thailand, Laos, Sri Lanka, Kazakhstan, Venezuela, Bolivia. Moreover, it becomes one of the bloc's most extensive de-dollarization policies in its history. Its presence should only be magnified by the impending arrival of the bloc's independent payment system. Over the last 2 years, the BRICS Economic Alliance has grown tremendously. The grouping has sought to increase its relevance on a global scale and introduce an increasingly multipolar world. A massive part of those efforts are connected to the introduction of landmark economic policies. Now, the Alliance has announced a monumental development that could have immense ramifications for global finance, especially BRICS announced a massive trade agreement at this week's foreign ministers meeting that would ditch the US dollar for the alliance trade settlements. The nations include will opt to settle all trade with national currencies as opposed to Western alternatives. Bolivian President Luis Arca discussed the agreement and the BRICS payment system that is currently being developed by the bloc. Eric noted that the system is developed to compete with the dominance of both the dollar and the euro. However, using local currency is a key part of facilitating its eventual arrival. Since sanctions were imposed on Russia in 2022, the bloc has sought ways to sidestep US dollar usage. This has involved their steadfast commitment to the promotion of currency alternatives, which is very good for all these developing countries. Subsequently, the aforementioned agreement should be a monumental step toward those goals. The independent payment system should also facilitate that development as it builds on BRICS Pay, initiative that was introduced last year. So you see, at first it was about the US dollar, its dominance in the world. Secondly, in fact, they have extended it. Everything that has to do with the Western payment system, they are raising this stand to trade currently at their settle their trades with their local currency, which is very good. Yes, and which will stabilize their currency, stabilize their economy, and it is even good that they are extending it to the West in all totality, because even trading in the euro is not good for these native economies, because once the euro starts having issues, be it at any level, or these countries in the EU or the EU debt is skyrocketing, is equally affecting the native economies in these countries that are settling their trade with euro. So it's a welcome development. I believe in what the BRICS are doing as a person, because I know that it is good for many African countries. Because if BRICS continues like this, many African countries that will join the BRICS, this will be a step to these countries' economic freedom from the West. Yes, I just hope that with time, as BRICS continue on these paths, more countries will be interested to join them, and I hope that BRICS will remain on this course and don't change it. Yes, from time to time, there will be disagreements, but let them disagree to agree. Let them always find a common ground, because their enemies will not fold their hands and be watching why they are taking steps to destroy them. Their enemies will be doing a whole lot under the table to destabilize their plans, to rubbish their efforts. To united they stand, divided they fall. So it now depends on how they try to build themselves. Let them build a kind of fence that will not leave any room for their enemies to come in. Yes.